different. For people who just came in, what the people did who were here in the beginning. Two things. If you have your Chromebook, awesome. If you don't, that's okay too. If you do have your Chromebook, we're asking that people try to log in, but we're realizing with this many people trying to log in, it's a problem. But if you can, great. What we're going to be using this year for all teachers is Canvas. That way you don't have to worry about which teacher's Google Classroom and which teacher's Canvas. How many people in here right now would say, I've used Canvas for at least one teacher last year? So y'all are my rock stars. Can you imagine what 6th grade looked like this morning? They were a little more worried and concerned. So, let's say you try that, and you get in when you go home or whatever. What will happen is not all your classes will show up yet because some of us haven't published our course. That's not a big deal. We just want to make sure you can get in. The other thing that you're going to see, is some people have downloaded a Canvas app. Who knew about the Canvas app on your phone? Okay, it's pretty cool. It's a free app, and you can get it onto your cell phone if you have a cell phone. It's going to ask you for your school. And if it asks you for your school, then you will say Kingsport City Schools. Okay? Then you'll log in. And it already knows that in Kingsport City Schools, you're a Robinson Middle School student. So don't worry about entering Roston Robinson. Just Kingsport City Schools. It'll take you. And that will also, eventually, once all courses have been published, it will show up those classes. Okay? That's just another way to actually view Canvas is from your cell phone. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm Mrs. Bratton. I teach geometry, algebra, and one class of Math 8. Okay? Today we're going to talk about what it's going to look like the first few days. And you all are rock stars with this because you are a third-year Robinson student and you're really, really good at these things already. So we're very hopeful about what's going to be happening starting Monday. So we're just going to look at our first days. Starting August 10th. That's on Monday. Go ahead, Mr. Dean, next slide. There's some differences this year. We have 3 new people on our administrator team, and y'all probably already know that. But our new principal is Dr. Corey Gardenauer. Our new assistant principal is Miss Heather Hobbs. Our new associate principal is Dr. Sam McCord. Mr. Walker, Miss McLeod is still our guidance counselors. Mrs. Mason is still in the front office to greet you at that very first window. And Mrs. Hill is still the principal's secretary. Okay, just wanted you to make sure that you understood there's some new people. And the next slide will be handed over to the attendance, which is which teacher? Miss Reynolds, come on up.
Hey guys, this starting on Monday is when classes will start for you, and it's going to look a little different attendance-wise than it did in the spring. So please be aware that you're going to be required to show up to your scheduled classes and check in your course announcements in Canvas for specific information. You'll be checking in when you receive your class schedule. You're going to be checking in with that class teacher during that scheduled time. An evaluation of work completed and log-on data will be taken into consideration as well. And if you need your teacher, like I said, your teacher is going to be available during your time slot for your class according to your schedule. If you need additional time with your teacher, please don't hesitate to reach out to your teacher. We will be here in the building working. We will be in our classrooms. We are available So please, please, please reach out to us and let us know that you need some extra time and extra help, and we would love to do that. Okay? Next. School changes. So I will pass this over to Ms. Buck.
You might
And
want to tell them it's not going to be like the spring.
what?
It's not going to be like the spring. They're going to be required to be.
She did.
Okay.
Okay, guys, just to clarify, if you didn't hear me say this, in the spring, some of you chose to show up and some of you chose not to show up. That's not an option now. You are required to check in with your teacher during your scheduled class period, just to make sure that's clear. Okay, everybody know that? Your schedule, your teacher, your class period, be there.
Oh, I am. Okay. Hi guys, I'm Ms. Buck. I'm one of the 8th grade science teachers. And always, trust me. Okay. So there will be a lot of things that are different this year. You already know that. One of the things will be the way that you arrive at school. If you are a bus rider, you will have your temperature taken before you get on the bus. If you ride or walk to school, you'll have your temperature taken at the front entrance as you come in. We will have you separated out in some way in the morning. If you are someone that eats breakfast, the way that's going to work, you will not be eating in the cafeteria. It will be a grab-and-go breakfast. It will also be a grab-and-go lunch. In the morning, the teachers are going to go ahead and have their rooms open at 7:30. So you will just, if it's breakfast, you will just grab and go that breakfast and you'll take it on to the teacher's room. You will not be eating lunch in the cafeteria this year. You will grab and go and get lunch, and you will eat in the teacher's classroom, whatever class period your lunch happens to fall in. When you dismiss, that's going to be different. It will be a staggered dismissal. So as 8th graders, you will be in, I think, a 7th period class at the end of the day. And the way that will work is you will stay there and we'll just simply wait. They'll make an announcement on the intercom, and the first run bus riders will exit first. Everyone else will stay. Then they'll call for the second bus riders. Everyone else stays. Then walkers, you'll get dismissed. And then finally, if you're involved in athletics or some type of after-school event, you'll be dismissed last. So it's going to be a staggered dismissal, hopefully to keep the crowds down and keep you from congregating in the hallways. And speaking of hallways, Miss Ward is the hallway queen.
Okay, and I think we're just a little bit too serious, so I have a funny story for you. So Miss Buck and I wear glasses and they fog up. So, you know how some teachers were taking their mask off up here? Well, that's impossible for me. Because Miss Buck just said, oh, try this tape. Put this double-sided tape here. So now my mask is stuck to my face and it will not come off. So I won't be removing my mask until I get home today and use some type of product to get it off. So there's something funny for you to laugh about. Okay, when we're walking in the hallways this year, it's going to be quite different than last year. Last year our classes dismissed and we just kind of went to where we were supposed to be. This year, we're going to have, when we exit a classroom, regardless of which side of the hallway, it's going to be like a highway. You always drive on the right side of the highway. We're going to walk on the right side of the hallway. Can we make a left turn? Of course we can. If you're going down the hall and you need to turn to go to a classroom, you can. But we're going to line up in a straight single file. We're going to social distance the best that we can. And then we're going to travel on the right-hand side of the hallway, regardless of where we're going. Cafeteria, related arts, or to the next class. Okay? Now, you may have noticed, and I'm going to skip down to sanitation. In the hallway, there's lots of news stations where you can get hand sanitizer. We're not going to have the opportunity to just go to the bathroom like we wanted to, so there's going to be scheduled bathroom breaks. But we will be using the hand sanitizing stations instead of going to wash our hands very frequently, okay? We'll be using those hand sanitizing stations to avoid congestion at the bathroom, okay? I think that's it. I'm going to give it back to Miss Duck, AKA sticker mask to your face.
Okay, so I already mentioned the cafeteria. Guys, one thing I want to say is remember, this is temporary, okay? We'll get through this. The things that you're seeing up here, that's not a forever thing. I wish I could tell you exactly how long. I can't. But we know you like to eat in the cafeteria, you like to sit with your friends, and we want to get back to that when we can do so safely, okay? So, but you won't be eating in the cafeteria, I already said that. So you can still bring your lunch, that's fine. If you normally bring your lunch, keep doing that. If you normally eat here at school and pay in the cafeteria, you'll keep doing that. I think what we'll be doing is lining you up. We will have a set traffic pattern. We'll walk down to the cafeteria, and then we'll bring you back to the classroom, and you'll eat your lunch there. No lockers. Had you already heard that? No lockers. Now I want you to really think about that. What that means is that you will be taking your backpack with you all day. So really want you to think about that, because you want to think about what exactly do you need to have, really need to have in that backpack to make sure you can go through your school day. So if you're one of those kids that ends up with 20 extra jackets stuffed in your locker, you don't have a locker right now. So whatever you walk in with, you will be taking with you from class to class. All right, so think about how you want to arrange that backpack and the things that you are going to need, okay? But we want you to have a great year. We really do, okay? But we want to keep you safe, and this is part of keeping you safe. And now, it's going to Mr. Buck.
We're not related, that's a coincidence. One thing that's not mentioned on the last slide that we talked about mentioning to you guys, just another change, is they are also going to turn off the water fountains. The water bottle filler part of it will still be on, but where you just push and lean down and get a drink, that won't be on. And also, all of that stuff, just to make this super clear, okay, raise your hand if you've heard about our green, yellow, and red zones. Okay? Every Friday, they're going to tell us what zone we're in. If we're in red, which this week we are, you don't have to think about all of that because we'll be online. Okay? So all of those changes are for yellow and green. That's when we're coming to school. Okay? And before I do this slide, because this is kind of boring, I just want to compliment all of you guys, okay? Because every time I go to the grocery store, I see a lot of masks like this, and I see a lot of masks like this, and in here, I see a lot of masks the right way you wear it. And that's awesome. You guys are doing better than a lot of the adults out there. So all that this is saying, let's say that your internet goes down and you have been doing your work every day and you can't get Wi-Fi at home for whatever reason. They're going to upgrade the school's Wi-Fi, which is part of why it wasn't working great this morning. They're making it better. And your parents will be able to drive up, park in like the parking lot or on the front street, and your computer will connect. The Wi-Fi is going to reach that far out. And you can open up, log into Canvas. Canvas will download all of your classes and all that information. And then you can go home and still do all of it, even offline. Okay? Some of you know about that kind of stuff, about being able to like download things to use them offline even when you're not on the internet. This is just going to be one of the school's ways of doing that. So this is, if you can't get Wi-Fi at home for whatever reason, you can drive by, open your laptop, download Canvas, go on home. It'll still be there when you open it back up, okay? Now, this bottom part is, it says to click there, and you can't do that because this is like a projector, and you guys can't do that anyway. But this is either has been or will be sent out to your parents. So if you guys are having trouble and you're like, okay, it's not my Wi-Fi, it's something with my school Chromebook, that's the issue. This link is what you're going to click. So your parents should probably save this PowerPoint because it's going to be sent to them. And that's the link that we click on when our computers are messing up and we're sure that it's not our home internet. Good? All right. Who's next? Miss Allen. Who had Miss Allen last year? Yeah, she's back.
All right, guys, I'm Miss Allen, and I got the joy of moving to 8th grade with you. I'm super excited. So I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about showing up, and you guys are here, so you've done a great job. But if you look around and you see that people are not here that you know should be, please help us spread the word so that they know they can come tomorrow for our distribution makeup. And we're here this afternoon, so we're here for a while today. But tomorrow is the makeup day. If you look around and you see, oh my gosh, my best friend's not here, where are they? Send them a text message and say, hey, you need to go make up orientation.
And this will be online too.
And this will be online too. That's true. This is going to be posted online. All right, that's all I got. Ms. Smith, Mr. Smith, do you want me to take it? All right, we have Mr. Smith.
Okay, here's the funny thing. You're not going to see me in class because I'm going to be doing all online classes, but I'll talk to you about what you are going to see. For the next week, since we're in the red, you're going to be logging on to Canvas. And many of you have done that in other classes. It's really familiar to you. We spent a lot of time the last 2 weeks trying to work on it to make it a lot more user-friendly, a lot more obvious what you're supposed to do. You're going to come to class during class time. You'll have a schedule. Try to follow that schedule. That'll help you make sure you get the work done. That'll make sure we're available so we can help you. That's important. There's a couple of tools they'll use. They'll probably do conferences in Canvas. They may use Google Meets. You'll be able to see your teacher on the computer screen and talk to them about problems. You can message them through Canvas. You can send them an email through your school email account. Your teacher will indicate to you what they want you to do. However, you have lots and lots of options to communicate with your teacher if you're having a problem. Now, the reverse of that is they're going to be communicating with you. You need to get your work done within the time frame that they lay out for you. If you're having trouble, you need to let them know. If you don't do that, they're going to let you know. That's kind of how that goes. Okay, live sessions. There'll be some tutorial videos that will pop up. Most of that will be within your Canvas classes. So the first thing you need to make sure is you can log on to Canvas. Live sessions will be in the scheduled class period. If you need to talk to your teacher, it needs to happen within that class period. And finally, check announcements, check your mail, because important things will come out, and you don't want to miss stuff that's going to affect how you're doing things. All right.
All right, athletics. Athletics is governed by TSSAA, so a lot of you, there's several of you I've noticed that are in football. You're sitting there going, hey, wait a minute, what are we doing? We're doing whatever TSSAA tells us to do, okay? Whatever their rules are, that's what we have to follow. That is a statewide thing, so there will be changes that come up. That's why it's important for you to get connected to your coach. Think about the sport. How many of you are in a sport? Right? Stand up. Just stand up. You need to stand up anyway. Who's in a sport? Stand up. All right. Who wants to be in a sport? Stand up. All right. Good. Sit down. Now, real simple. If you are not in a sport but you want to be, you need to find out the name of the coach that coaches that sport. The name of the coach that coaches it, and get in touch with them. How can you do that? Email them. Go to the Robinson School website. Go to athletics and click on that coach, whoever it is. That way you can find out that information, get in touch with them about any tryouts. I know volleyball is going right now, cross country is going right now, and football is going right now.
Dance team tryouts are next week.
Dance team tryouts are next week, cheer tryouts the week after. So those are coming up. Those are things you need to know about. So if you're interested in that, please get in touch with that coach. Look for the information that's coming out. Second part, school clubs. How many of you were in math counts last year? How about Science Olympiad? Robotics. We are still going to have those activities. I think I left something off. Were those the only three? I feel like I'm leaving something off. But anyway, we are still going to have those. Those will be after school instead of during the school hours. So it will be after school. Information will be coming out from whoever it is that is leading that. So like in one of your Canvas classes, you'll probably get some information about it. Look for it if that's what you do, and then you'll find out when that is. Does anybody have any questions about sports? Awesome.
There are some of you sitting in here that some of these things don't apply to because you or your parents have decided that you're going to do remote choice learning in 2020. Raise your hand if you know that you're doing remote choice learning rather than virtual. Okay. Remote choice is if you and your parents take it, you're going to be online no matter what, whether we're in red, yellow, or green until this is all over, and you can only change at certain points during the school year. Okay? If you're on remote choice learning, there are some expectations for you. The district does expect that you spend pretty much a school day on remote choice learning during the week. Now, for some people, that's going to have to move around, so you can think about it in hours. But they want you to have a plan for your day, and they do suggest about 6.5 hours of time working on that remote choice learning. For attendance, that's still going to be based on work. So if your teacher checks on Monday, that's 1/5 of the week, so they're going to expect you to have about 20% of that week's work done. Now, at the beginning of the week, all the work in remote choice learning is going to be available, okay? So it looks like most of us are remote, which is also on your computer, and that's on Canvas. And the expectations for remote are that you pretty much have a normal school day. Unless there's exceptions that your parents and teachers talk about, you need to be available during your normally scheduled class time if you are doing remote learning. So if you have Mr. Way's science class second period, and I need to have a Google Meet with you second period, you're expected to be at that Google Meet. Does that make sense? Okay? Your day is going to look very similar. If there's some reason that's impossible for you, you and your parents should communicate that to your teacher. Okay? Now, who's teaching what is going to be a little bit different. For those folks in remote choice learning, you're going to have a teacher in each subject that's designated to help you, to be a resource for you, and they're going to keep some office hours during their day. Okay, and that will get communicated to you by that teacher. So, for example, if you're in remote choice learning and you have me for science, mine's going to be during second period, which means it's going to be during that first class of the day. Okay, Ms. Pearson and Ms. Buck, the other science teachers, will cover a different part of that day. But you can also message us, email us, and get in touch, and we will respond within 24 hours, working hours. So if you email at midnight on Saturday, it may not be midnight on Sunday, but Monday morning we'll get back to you. That teacher for your remote choice class may not be your teacher for the rest of the year, okay? So when you come back from remote choice, you may have a different science teacher. You may have had me for remote choice, but you're going to have Ms. Buck or Ms. Pearson for science when you come back to the school year, okay? Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to get to start over. All those grades, all that attendance is going to carry over, all right? And you need to be there. For both of these options, if you're not coming to school, which means you're not getting that time on your computer engaged in learning, then it's going to have the normal consequences it would if you don't come to school, okay? Number one is you're going to miss out on learning. Number two is you're going to get in some type of trouble for that. So know that either option is going to be the same amount of time for school that you had during the normal school year. Does anybody have any questions about the difference between remote choice and when we are in red and you'll be remote? And the last difference is probably the remote is going to be decided every week. If next Friday they say that we're yellow next week, you're going to be back in school. So don't plan to go out of town just because you have your computer with you. All right? All right? And here comes Miss Claiborne.
Hello guys, I'm Ms. Clayball and I'm one of the 8th grade language arts teachers. It's great to see everybody here. I'm just going to talk to you about your forms. So when you came in today, you were given an envelope with some forms in it, and you just need to make sure that your parents or your guardian fills that out, and they need to be turned into the office by next Friday, which is August the 14th. Some of you have already completed those, or your parents did, and turned them in. Just make sure, you're giving those to your parents in time for them to complete those forms. So. And here's Miss Pearson.
Hey guys, I'm Miss Pearson. I teach science. So we're going to end today with communication is love, meaning you've got to communicate with us. There may be questions that you have. We cannot read your mind. If you need to contact us, you are going to contact us through Canvas. It will send an email. You'll just go to the little inbox and send the email. We will get back to you. Now, if you email us at midnight, chances are we're not going to be awake. So give us 24 hours to be able to respond to you. Now, depending on your question, we may have to have a virtual conference with you. And a lot of us will be using Canvas conferences, and some will be using Google Meet. So it's just kind of like what you did in the spring. It may be something that we have to show you, that we have to meet with you virtually, and that's okay. But remember, we cannot read your mind. You've got to reach out to us, okay? We're in this together. We love you. We're excited about the year. So, go Robinson.
We put together just a really short clip. Once this is over, do not get up. We're going to be dismissing you orderly from the back. So just a real quick video and then we'll be dismissed. Do not dismiss until you've been directed by a teacher.
Hi, I'm Miss Allen, and I'm here to welcome you to 8th grade. I know you guys are all excited. I'm moving to 8th grade with you. We're going to walk down the hall together so you can get a good view of where your teachers will be. We're going to start with Coach Smith. She's super excited to have you guys back. And as we move down the 8th grade hall, our next stop is Coach Fry. And then on the other side of the hall, you have my classroom, but obviously I'm walking you down the hall, so I'm not there. We have Miss Bratton. She's got a little message she wants to point out for you guys. All right. And then we have Mr. Buck, who's ready to say Roll Tide on Friday night. As we walk down the hall, Miss Tilly and Miss Chadwell are here showing social distancing to you guys, and Miss Chadwell is showing you that their classrooms will be upstairs. We'll move past the bathroom and around the counter where Miss Clayball is here to welcome you. Mr. Way is across the hall and he's waving from inside the science lab / his classroom. We move further down the hall and next we have Miss Pearson, who's super excited to have you guys back at school. And Miss Buck is here and ready for you too. And Mr. Smith is right across the hall. As we move to the end, we have only 2 more teachers in 8th grade. Miss Ward is here to welcome you, and Miss Reynolds has a really quick message for you.
Hey guys, remember to always choose joy and smile. There's a bigger plan, you've got a reason.
Okay, just a second.
Hey guys, I just wanted to drive one real important point home. It was mentioned a few times about the video calls, right? Last year, a lot of teachers used Zoom, but this year it'll either be Google Meet or Canvas. It was mentioned those are required. This is not an 8th grade thing, it's not a Robinson thing, it's not a Kingsport thing. This is a Tennessee Department of Education requirement that you all have a face-to-face video chat with us during the week, okay? This is not, we're going, hey, we really want you, this is a requirement, okay? And more specific communication will come out to that. Your teachers will be really, really clear about when they're going to have their video calls on Canvas and on Google Meet. Just know it's not optional. Good? All right, here goes, friend.
So, we're going to close by saying we will see you Monday morning for that first class. Get up, get onto Canvas, and be ready to do what we asked you to do. That first day will be a whole lot of here's what we're going to do kind of videos, okay? All right, teachers, if you all could dismiss by row on either side. Your parents should be waiting for you in the front as you are dismissed.